I'm feeling amazing, Kate. I'm in the bliss zone, darling. I'm fully in the bliss zone. And, yeah, I'll start rolling. And if you guys just want to sit back, get your spoons, get your pina coladas, and here we go, my loves. I just want to say it's been absolutely incredible meeting Dee and everyone and Ted and all the guys here. And this weekend we went over to a Water of Life event where we met another couple of beautiful beings called Anthony and Mark, who are also complete no-namers now. They're out there, they're doing it. They've come down from the north. They're moving down to Cornwall to come and be in the area with us guys. Dee and Anthony have got a beautiful love blossoming. It's just stunning here. We went to this place. It was called Cresken Farm, which is obviously Christ knowing the heart through the spirit breath from the unbegotten. That's what it means to me. We met Kevin there, big Welsh Kevin. You know, oh, hello, Kevin. Hi, hello. Lovely. We had a great chat with Kevin. So if you're listening, Kevin, my love, bloody lovely to see you. Nice trousers, that shirt, you see. So, and loads of seeds were sown there. We took all the Babylons up, and we just had a great couple of days, and they kept saying, we're sorry, this hasn't been a great event. And we were like, no, this is all perfect. It's been amazing. Because it had a low turnout, but it was just all perfect. Anagogics on anagogics. So there we are, all delicious, all getting together, all getting to know each other. Strength in numbers now. It's just this lovely thing of, I can't put it into words, guys. When you start coming together, and when you start actually physically now bringing this spirit through us, and we're meeting one by one, yeah, you can feel that energy. It's just incredible. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing going on here. Okay, moving on a little bit to what's actually brought all this up. It all started with a dog. It's the God in the mirror, and he's called Archie. He's the Kiro. He's my dog. Well, he's not my dog. He's the dog that chooses to live with me, and he's a beautiful Labrador. And he went missing the other morning. We were sitting chatting because we were all very excited because we'd all met each other and, you know, just going off on anagogics with each other and just having a great old playtime. And then the dog was brought back by this lady called Dawn, not missed on me, and she returns with our key, with Mr. Archie, and she's walking with a cane beautifully down the road. And she's got quite some anger, this lady, so she's shouting at me and keep your fucking dog on a lead. He's a beautiful dog, but next time he comes near my land, I'm going to shoot him. Okay, I'll keep him here. Thanks very much. Goodbye. And then she walks away. Drug head. I'm going to ring the police. Okay, you do what you're going to do. You know, it's like, so we go back in. I have a laugh. I tell the guys what's just happened, and we all sit down, get on with our day. Don't go thinking about it. The whole day goes by. Next morning, a policeman comes into the garden. We're all sort of sitting around chatting, and we notice this policeman. We've got loads of pots of weed on the table and stuff, you know, we're just having a nice old time. We just think, okay, one thing at a time, we'll just go and pop them in the cupboard. And so I walk to the door, and I greet the guy as he comes up, and he's called CPC, which is a community police constable. It's not a real police constable, not that there's any such thing anyway, but he's a community one. He's one of these sort of like, I'll go and get my dad if you don't do what I say. He's one of those, right? And he's called CPC Tonkin, so he's Mr. Tonkatoy. They've sent down the Tonkatoy. He's arrived, and he walks onto the porch, and I've come about an investigation into dog bothering. There's a dog bothering going. There's a dog bothering a horse. So, you know, invest, shun. So I reply, you know, yeah, okay, I'll keep the dog in control, all good. That's the end of that then. See you later, mate, lovely. And then he starts saying, well, I've noticed your car, or is that your car parked out there? So, yeah, that's the car I have the keys to, yeah, lovely. Well, I've noticed that I tapped it into the central computer, whatever it is, the Yibjimi, and it came up that it wasn't registered. And I said, yeah, well, it's not registered. He said, and he's starting to stumble here beautifully. He's like, well, that's my plate on there. And he asks again, he says, yeah, well, I put it into the computer and it says it's not registered. And he starts going into a loop now. And he says this 3 times. And I keep saying to him, yeah, it's unregistered. That's my plate. I created that. He hasn't noticed the lack of tax disc at this point. He's just completely focused on the plate. He's stumbling. The old robot's kicking off. The left knee's jerking. He's stumbling. And he's like, well, do you take that out on the public highways? And I said, yes, I do. I drive around on the public highways. Well, you can't do that. And I said, well, yes, I can do that, actually. He said, well, no, I beg to differ. And at this point, I thought, right, well, Anthony and Mark were sitting inside the house. I just said, guys, can you come out and just witness, just stand here and just witness. So they come out, and he's saying, well, so what's your name? And he said, well, then we go into the, can't give you a legal name. Obviously, it's all fraud. We just give them the whole spiel, which I'm not going to repeat here because you guys have heard it so many times before. And Mark and Anthony are standing there saying the same thing, and we're just basically talking to him, just saying, this is what's going to happen. I'm just going to drive my car anytime I like, and there's basically nothing you can do. Can you go now? And he said, well, I'm going to come back later with the sergeant or someone higher. Basically, he was saying, I'm going to go and get my dad now because you guys, I don't know what to do. So I'm going to go and run off and get my dad. So we said, yeah, okay, bye, lovely, and off he goes. In the meantime, Delight and another beautiful being who we've met as well, who's just come down to meet us all, called Trudy, from up in Southampton. She's just arrived as well, so we've just met Trudy. It's all beautiful, another being who's just waking up to this name fraud. It's just incredible. I can't describe this, guys. I've got so much bliss running through me at the moment. It's just delicious. So anyway, we've all got together. We're sitting around. I think, perfect thing. Let's go off and see where the Michael and Mary line come into Cornwall. Because where we live down here, right down at the bottom near Land's End, which is, to me, the Lance mine. This is, clear, targeted. You're aiming the mine now. So we're right down at where the Land's End in what is fictitiously called the UK. And it's a Celtic area. It's an old Celtic area. It's very similar to Wales and Scotland. And there's the Mary line snakes in here and travels all the way through England, going up through Glastonbury and Avalon and heading off through London. And I'm pretty sure, I can't say for sure, but I have a feeling it heads off through Temple in London. It goes all the way along. And also it has its divine masculine running with it, which is the beautiful Michael line. So you have the Michael line running all the way up. And obviously the churches have been built along the ways and they've done their things. But we're right there at the start of all this. And I spend a lot of time at this place called Les Bowl, and to me that's like, it's the Les Bowls, it's the wombs. This is a beautiful place where the lines come in from the south of Ireland and they cross into the UK and then head up through. So it's like, come on guys, let's head down there, let's get in the car. So we all jump in the car, 5 of us, 5A, beautiful, here we go. And on the way in, Dee said, well, there's a copper parked at the end of the lane. I said, well, okay then. So we get in the car and it's like, well, he's possibly going to be there, but game on. It's like, come on, we're not going to stop. We're just going to live our lives and carry on here. So we all get in the car, smiling, laughing, having a great time, and head off. And sure enough, he's down at the end of the lane. So we wave at him, drive past, and he follows us. So we just drive along, no seatbelts, doing nothing, just trundling about. We go about 3 miles up the road, nearer to Land's End, because I live not far from there, just a bit closer to it. And we end up at a place called Trevescan, which is, in Cornish, Trey is, it can mean the farm of, or it's the farm of a tree. I mean, pull it apart how you like, you see it as well. They, obviously Trey, they scan, so it's the scan of the truth. It's the farm where the truth is scanned. And this is the place where we are. And this is where we decide to get out of the car and take our walk down to Nanjizzle and Les Bowl and go and sit on the Mary line. So the guy comes over, and obviously these are the videos. What I want to say here now is these are the videos that we've sent, which are going to be available, obviously, as soon as we can get them up there. And there's 4 videos which show the whole situation from this point on, from the Apple Tree Cafe, where we were stopped at, all the way until I was taken in the van at the back. But I'm not going to explain any of that now, because that's a whole story that I want you to hear as it actually happened. I don't want to go around it again, There's enough other things to put on the table right here anyway to really polish this home. So okay, we've got to the point now where I've been arrested. Okay, I've been arrested and I've had my hands put behind my back, and I'm being put into the back of a police car, and on top of the police car is J.E. So J-Boy's with me. He's there. It's all rocking. It's all good. The police officer who arrests me is called PC. You'll love this. Boxall, Boxall, PC Boxall. He's the guy who's going to be dealing with this. So it's just like, oh, come on, guys, here we go. So we're in the back, and then there's 2 cops so far, and then a 3rd cop shows up. So we've got the Trinity right there. There's 3 cops. A lovely lady shows up, and she's really sweet. I can see this light in her eyes, and it's like I instantly sort of make contact with her, and she introduces herself, says her name, but I missed her second name. I couldn't catch it. It was, at this point I was being put into the back of the van, so I missed what was going on at this point. Let me just sort of recap on myself a minute here. So I'm in the back of the van anyway, and now I'm travelling off, and I'm on my way to the police station. And I've asked them just before I've got in the van, what are you arresting me for? And these are the charges he said. He said, I'm arresting you because I was worried you were going to walk away from me, and I'm arresting you on suspicion of stealing your own car. It's just, you can't make this shit up. You really can't make this shit up. I'm on suspicion of stealing my own car. So I just keep stating over and over again, all of this is fraud. I keep saying it, in just a firm voice. All of this is fraud. All of this is ridiculous. Okay, here we go. So I'm in the van now, driving off to Camborne. Camborne is the station where they're taking me. Borne. It's the car, magnetic, feminine, born through consciousness. And this is where they're taking me, right into the cog, the cam of the born, okay, into their custody centre, their cursed to die centre. Yeah, beautiful. So I'm going into the centre, and I'm still held in the van, and the blonde lady, this beautiful copper, I'm getting a sort of connection going with, and I'm sort of, this can open out, this can. And I'm just saying to her in the back of the van, she said, why aren't you using the name? And I'm like, well, basically it's all fraud, and what I'm doing here is standing for you and your family, and I'm standing because I love you. She really couldn't take this, and she looked down and she was just like, started rolling her eyes, which was the start of a lot of eye rolling. There was a lot of rolly eyes going on in the place. It was beautiful. Pretty much every time I told people I loved them, and that I was there for them and their kids, and that I was here to show a fraud, and that I'd been bought under duress, against my will, and I was just going to stand in my truth the whole time I was in there, and just letting them know. So the sergeant comes out to the back of the van, and he looks at the door, and I can hear them talking outside. He's like, have you got a name yet? And the lady's like, no, I haven't got a name yet. So and I can tell his tone is like, oh, here we go, come on, let's have him. Okay, I'm not going to assume too much, but that's what I'm feeling here. So I get out of the back of the van, and, obviously handcuffed, and I'm just saying to the guys, I mean you no harm, I'm no threat here, can you please take the handcuffs off? I'm quite happy to just walk with you, there's no threat. No, it's policy, we've got to keep you in the handcuffs until we know who you are. Well, I'm telling you, I'm just a lovely, peaceful being, and I'm just here against my will, and I'm not going to give you a name, blah, blah, blah. And so I just get led into the little room where they take all your details, or try to. So I go into the room, and it's quite open on all sides. There's doors open all over it so people can come by and have a listen in. And so there's the sergeant there at his computer, and then there's the two cops who've brought me in. There's Boxhall, and then there's the lady I haven't yet found out the name of. And the reason I'm going to hold back their name is because this is the absolute gem of the whole story as well. Well, after the court, this is the real one that just puts my heart into the atmosphere and just spreads it out over everywhere. This is incredible. So I'm in the room now. And so what's your name? I am the witness to this fraud. I am just here under duress. I have been brought here against my will. I am just standing in truth, and I am here just as the witness to this fraud. Now, when I say I am the witness, that is in no way to be construed as a legal title, and otherwise assumed as an AKA, a nickname. It's just for you to hear me in space and time, because I'm here, so you can just refer to me as witness. And that isn't any Mr. Witness, surname witness, forename witness. It's just witness to this fraud, okay? And the guy's looking at me and he goes, oh, yeah, I know about this stuff. And I'm like, do you? I know about this stuff. I said, you probably know about Freeman stuff, but this is very different. I'm coming in with a different angle here now. So I'm assuming these guys have had a little bit of education on this. I did drop Babylon Has Fallen into Penzance police station about 2 weeks earlier, which I later found out they hadn't got. But at this point, I was assuming that maybe some of them had got it. But I was wrong to assume that. That was my own assumption. Lots of lessons for me along the way as well. As it always is, isn't it, my dears? So they're asking for all my details, date of birth, and I just said, can't give you a date of birth. I said, well, if you want, just choose today. If you want to write something down, today's a good day, innit? Because I'm born today. Let's go with that one. Where do you live? I live in my heart. Okay, so, and he's typing stuff down. I said, you can type as much as you like, me, but everything I'm telling you is not to be typed down, is not to be construed in any way as anything tied to your fictional world. It's like, and the guys are looking at me. The PC Boxhall is just, he's like a dog barking. Fuses are popping. His neck, but the lady, the blonde lady, standing just looking at me. Just, what am I watching? She's like, you can see it in her eyes. What am I watching? What are you doing? What? And I'm looking at her, and I keep just giving her a cheeky little grin, and just like, yeah, keep doing this for you, I do. And it's really, I'm starting to play with it, you know. At the very start, I started to play with it. They put the pressure on later. They did test me, don't worry. I've had my feather dust in here as well. So I'm being cheeky with them, and at the end of all of this, they can't get anything off me. And I just say, look, I've got a question here, right? How long can you hold anybody without a legal name? Yeah, 24 hours, sir. I said, okay, 24 hours. So, and by this time, there's quite a collection of people gathering around listening to what I'm saying. There's 3 people inside the back room. There's more walking by. I can hear lots of movement and lots of walking around and what's that? What's going on? So I said, okay, there's lots of witnesses here now. You've all heard that. He said I was going to be out in 24 hours. That's the sergeant. He orders all you around because you believe in me. Okay, so in 24 hours I'm going to be out. So now it is so and so time. I think yes.
Yeah, I want to jump in here for a sec. When you asked that question, how long can you hold me without a legal name? And the sergeant said 24 hours?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the first thing that pops in my mind. Okay, well, if you can only hold someone for 24 hours without a legal name, what's the relevance and importance of the legal name then, everyone? Maybe it's what I'm talking about. Carry on.
Yeah. So this is what I've got, and then he says, right, now I've got to inform you that you have 2 choices. And all the time just saying, well, no, the only thing I really wish for is to be released. So come on then, what's the choices? Well, the choices are you either get forced to have your fingerprints, your DNA, and your photograph taken, or you can do it willingly. And I just said, oh, come on then, I'll put my Midas touch in, let's go for it. At this point, I didn't really think at this point. It just came out. It's just, okay, let's go for that. And they took me through into the room, and it was beautiful. They only took the fingerprints. They didn't take a photograph, and they didn't take any DNA. So they didn't do any of that. That was all weird. And then I was put down in my cell, and the sergeant came down. And he was treating me really well, and he was quite respectful. And have you got enough food? I was given a sandwich and a packet of crisps and a cup of tea so I could go and sit in the cell. Would you like some magazines, sir? Yes, yeah, that'd be lovely. I'll have some magazines. So give me a few magazines. Funnily enough, the car that I was driving was an Audi, and they gave me an Audi magazine, which I thought was just perfect, which is also AU, gold, and DI at the front is the start of my given name as well, so it was just perfect for me, and Dios and all of that. Beautiful few anagogics just to keep me flowing along. They put me in cell F3, so I think, yeah, I'm free already. Here we go. Free, off we are. And so I just sit down, settle in, and ask if I can have a phone call, just the basics, and then I go up and I phone, and I've got no phone at this point because I've given it to Dee just before I get in the car, because I just think, okay. And I've got a number of my, an ex-partner of mine from years ago, the mother of my son, and I ring her up and ask for another friend's number. So I've got some numbers now, and I realise I've got contact with the outside world. It's all good. I'm feeling nice and settled. And I'm being treated quite well. It's all good. I'm just thinking, here we go then. So I settle in for the night. And on the door, there's never as well, which I straight away see as never. Christ consciousness of truth is with you. One of the magazines as well I'm looking at is Horse and Rider, and there's this beautiful white horse on the front of it coming through. And the strap line that goes with that is keep your horse in its right mind. And he's just like, come on. Any more? Hold on a minute. I've got a few notes here, guys, because there's so much going on. I'm just trying to keep a track of where I'm at with all this.
I got to tell you, I am just ecstatic listening to someone that can speak full Phoenician anagogic. I'm just like riding this wave with you, bud. Keep it going. This is. By the way, everyone,
just give me a minute there, Carte, because I'm just trying to get my sort of notes back together again.
That's okay. I just want to remind everyone, as you're listening, this is exactly what I'm talking about with anagogic, and here's someone that's speaking it fluently, so this is quite a trip for me. I'm loving this.
Well, it's all thanks to you and the hard work you've put in, Katie. It's all thanks to everything you've done. I'm recognising you. You are just, I'm recognising all of us here. Just who we are. My God, have you any idea?
Isn't it fun?
Gorgeous. Well, I know you do. I'm talking to everyone here.
I know. Isn't it fun, though? Oh, my God.
It's incredible once you get this, isn't it? Isn't it really just like, come on, guys, come on. But the cheekiness is coming out of me now to just call everyone out and go, come on, back to the garden. Come on, get your shoes on. Let's go dancing. Get the paints out. Come on, guys. Come on. I'm just trying to get back to my notes here. Okay. So I've got to the 24-hour bit, and I've said, so I'll be released, 6:13 tomorrow then, yeah? 6:13. Yeah, lovely. Okay, another Christ consciousness pops in. Okay, so I just settled down in. I've chatted to everyone, and I sort of... I'm going back to my cell, so I think, well, I'm in a cell, so I'm in a battery. I might as well charge myself up while I'm here, so I'm having a little charge up. Slept really well. I had really mad dreams because I really felt like things were tuning in, and I didn't know what was going on in the outside world, but I could feel that things were rustling and moving, and I could feel contact coming in. There was strength, all through. I could feel, especially the guys that witnessed the whole thing, and my special friend Sam as well, my true brother, who was the guy I relied on when I was in there to talk to, because he's the guy that brought me to this table as well. And all love to you, brother. All love. I just love I have for you, bro. Fucking love. Yeah. So this is really bolstering me, and having a chat with Sam as well. And later on I'm starting to wobble a bit. So I've gone through the night. I wake up in the morning, and I'm really thinking I'm going to get out this day. Sorry, I just got a bit emotional there, because just the love for my bro. He's, I can't express it, bro. Can't express it. Can't put it in words for you. Okay, so I'm in the cell, and then I'm sort of asleep, and then at 12 o'clock midnight they come and get me for the interview, and this is where it really starts to get absolutely trippy. So I go upstairs with the interview with PC Boxhall, and he takes me into the room, and he's being really nice with me. He's doing the old Mr. Nice, Mr. Ice, he's trying it both ways. And I can see him. He doesn't think I can, but I can so see this guy. And I can see he actually quite likes me, and I keep getting cheeky with him and going, come on, you like me, don't you? He's like, come on, you do. You can see what I'm doing. He's like, well, yeah, I've read your information, because I gave him Babylon is Fallen, I Am the Witness, what else? Do you know you're a criminal? Attention all police agents, and just said, these are for you. And he took them really kindly, he took them wholeheartedly when I gave them to him as well. And he did read it all. And he said, yeah, I've read these opinions. And I said, no, start again. They're facts. They're all facts. It's just that you don't know them yet. That's all it is. They're all facts. You've just got to get to know them. And it's just going to take you some time, that's all. And his ego's popping, but I haven't got his goat yet. I'm trying to have a little tether there. I'm throwing out a few leashes and seeing if I can pull one in, put it in the yard. So I'm throwing a few phonetics at him as well, and everything he's doing, I'm breaking the words apart and throwing them back. And he actually goes, stop that with your etymology and phonetics. And I'm like, oh, okay. You do know where I'm coming from here. You do know what's going on. He's like, well, he said, I'll be honest with you. He said, yeah, this is interesting. I've never seen this before. This is very interesting. And, yeah, okay, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so what I've got to do now, I've got to interview you. But before I interview you, what I'm going to do is tell you how I'm going to interview you and what the interview entails. So I'm like, okay, yeah, go on then. So he breaks down what it is. He said, obviously, I'm going to read you the rights, the Miranda things, and I'm going to ask you if you want a brief, a lawyer, and I'm going to obviously ask you for all your details again, and then I'm going to ask you for a brief explanation of yourself, or in your own words, of what you want to do. He said, you can quite happily read any of these documents if you want to. I said, no, I don't. I've got my own words. I'm fine. I know what I'm going to say now. And he's like, okay, yeah, lovely. So he's really getting what's going on. I can feel it. He's like, he knows that something really different's happening here. This isn't the normal shit. This isn't something he's seen before. And I'm being nothing but loving and cheeky and kind with him. And just, you're my bro. I'm even saying, I smoke cigarettes, and I'm in my cell. I'm a bit cranky at the minute because I haven't had a fag now for, we call them fags over here. I haven't had a fag now for, I don't know, what is it now, 12 hours or something. I'm a little bit teasy. You smoke. Come on, bro. Let's go outside and have a fag, yeah? I'm not your bro. Yeah, I'm far younger than you, he said. And I was just laughing. I was like, oh, come on, man. Come on. I said, we both know what cassettes are. And cassettes, and what, if you know what a cassette is and a pencil, and you put them together and you can wind them. You have to be old enough to know that, don't you? And he's like, yeah, okay. And so we're having this cheeky little banter. And he's sort of playing along a bit, but I know he's just trying to sweeten me enough, thinking that at some point I'm going to crack and oh, well, yeah, I might as well tell you everything now, mightn't I? That's the sort of vibe that's going on. It's beautiful. And as we're talking, right, we're in this room, and he gets out the 4 cassettes and he puts them into the player. It's the quad, right? You've got this beautiful machine with the 4 cassettes in. So you've got the quad there, your Posneg, Mask Femme. It's right there in front of you, and it's called NIAC. The machine's NIAC again. And Christ Magic. NIAC, off we go. It's like, come on, stop this now. I know what I need to do, but stop with the anagogics, it's enough. And then as I'm looking up to the left, right above this NIAC is a poster, and this is one of the most priceless anagogics in there. It's just stunning. There's a poster of a man sitting in a jail cell with his hands together, and he's looking down at the floor. And on his the actual sort of what they're trying to express literally in this poster is, if you now admit to your crimes, we will be lenient with you, and if you admit to the fullness of your crimes, we will take that into account. So blah 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 blah, you know, all that. So that's what they're trying to do. There's the fear part of it, right? But obviously, negative positive's got to be there. But it's there in such a massive way, it just hits you over the head. The guy's sitting there with his arms folded in front of him, but on his top is written "Supreme Being." I kid you not, Supreme Being. And the strap line for the whole poster is, "You hold the key." So I turned around to the cop and I said, "Look at that. Can you see that?" And I'm like pointing at it, and he looks up and I said, "Come on, you get a bit of this phonetics and stuff now, don't you?" Obviously, you know, we haven't gone into the anagogy, I haven't mentioned that word with him yet. And he's like looking at the poster and he rolls his eyes and he just goes back down to the phone and says, "Come on, let's get on with the interview." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, yes, that's beautiful. Let's throw that one out there." So now he commences the interview, and obviously it's just a farce from beginning to end. It's just a complete farce. "Hi, for the purpose of this interview, I've got to do blah, 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 and read you this, right? Now you have a brief period to say what you want." So I just nailed it home. Just, you know, I'm here under, not of my own will. I have been arrested under trumped-up charges. I am a living being. I'm not attached to anything in your legal system. I'm only here to be... because you are holding me here against my will. My only wish is to be released. Just saying the same thing over and over again. I just kept repeating this thing of, you know, I just wish to be released. I mean no one no harm. I just want to go home. There is nothing here, you know. So he's like, "Okay, that's it." And then he asks me the questions about what's your name, and he's looking at me, and I'm just looking at him, and he's I don't know what he calls me, the client or something, or the... what do they call it? The accused, or I can't think of the word. He said, "But the so-and-so says no." No comment. Because you can just see me, I'm just smiling at him. Every question he's asking me, I'm just like beaming from ear to ear, just like, because he knows that I'm going to say no to everything. So he just puts down no, and then he reads, "Would you like a brief?" I'm like, "Nah, I don't need any lawyers, thank you. I'm fine by myself here, it's okay." Okay, well, we've had the interview then. So at the end of the interview, he stops the interview, and he just leans back, and he's like, "All right, mate, okay." And I can see he's sort of got a respect for me, but at the same time, he's starting to get a bit pissed off with me now. He's like, "Fucking hell, okay, what's he going to take?" So he's playing nice again, and he wants a cup of tea. Let's go back, you know, back down to your cell. So I just go down to my cell, and I'm sitting there just thinking, "Oh wow, that was nice." And then I'm really tuning in, and I can just feel so much energy and so much gorgeousness coming in. So I just go off to sleep, and I have mad dreams, really mad dreams, and I can't remember them, but just lots going on, I just felt like lots of good energy coming my way. So I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking, I'm going to be out in, a few hours. So I go through most of the day, and in the meantime, the captain phones me up. This lady comes into my cell with the phone and says, "The captain would like to speak to you." And brilliant, the captain, eh? The Christ consciousness tainted, you know. And he answers, he says, "Hi, good morning, Mr. Witness." I said, No, just the witness, thank you, just the witness. Well, I'm just phoning to make sure you're all right. It's just my duty to make sure you're okay. And I say, "No, I'm not all right, actually. I'm being locked against my will, and this is all fraud. Everything you're doing is completely fraudulent, from the top to the bottom, from the very minute I was picked up outside the Apple Tree Cafe, all fraud, that's it, end of game." And he said, "Oh, well, what do you know about the law?" And I said, "Well, obviously more than you, because you don't seem to know a lot about the law at all." And he said, "Well, no, I'm a captain, I know about the law." And he said, "Well, you obviously don't, so what I would suggest is you go and read losethename.com, kateofgaia.wordpress.com, and then go and learn some more. Please go and do your job. Good day." And I just handed the phone back to the lady, and obviously this lady's just like, "Fucking hell, he's just talked to my captain like he was in control of him." So straight away she's got kangaroos hopping around like a loony. And for the rest of the day I'm just sort of waiting, and then I'm thinking, 6 o'clock, and then I start to get this feeling, it's like, they're going to carry on playing, aren't they? You know, I'm trying not to script, but there's thoughts going around my head now of like, yeah, okay. And then at 6:13, a guy shuffles in. They send down the baldest, sort of hardest looking, biggest, buffest guy they possibly could. But he was, I've got to say, he was a sweetie. His eyes, he had a sweet, and he didn't want to be there. He really didn't want to be in this room with me. And he shuffled in. He said, "I've come to read you your charges." And I said, "Whose charges? What's this? Who's what? Who are you reading what to? What are you getting?" He said, "This is for you." And he's tried to hand me a piece of paper. I said, "No, I'm not touching anything. Just put it on there, down there." And so I'm, obviously always telling them what to do. You put it there. So I look down, and it's the charge sheet. And basically at the top where it says surname, they've put witness. So obviously now they're trying to charge a Mr. Witness. This is hilarious. It's like, who's Mr. Witness? I'm not Mr. Witness. I know, what the hell is this, Mr. Witness? I'm just the witness to this fraud. I told you it was a sonic reference. You can't write it down. It's, you fools. And the guy's then, he's not listening to me, but he's just reading the charges. And the charges are, they haven't gone back to the trying to arrest me for stealing my own car and walking away from them. Now what they're saying is, you, and he just keeps saying, you are being charged under suspicion of driving without insurance. You are under suspicion. That was charge 1. You are under suspicion of driving without an MOT, charge 2, which is a sort of an ordnance test that they, to make sure your car's safe and all that. And that you're driving without a ticket, a license, It's like, they're the charge. And I just said, who's this for? Who are these charges for? What's going on here? And he looked at me, and he said, you. And I said, no, who's you? Who are these charges for? And he walked towards the door, and he quickly, just before he closed the door, went, you! And then he sort of closed the door and ran away. And I just, at the top of my voice, went, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And after this point, this is when they really started to get quite nasty. And I did wobble here. I have to say, guys, I wobbled, and there was a point there, Kate, where I was calling you a cunt and all sorts. I was going, oh, fucking hell, this is it. No, I'm just going back to the system. No, fuck it. They've got my car, they've got it all, and I was scripting like a beauty, and then I caught myself. And I was like,
Strawberry?
Yeah.
What's this? You see, even when I'm not there, I can still be a cunt and get your dragon. Carry on.
I was calling you names, and I was thinking, I wish I'd never found this fucking shit, and what have I got myself into? And it lasted about 5, 10, 15 minutes. The cigarette cravings were kicking in, but I kept catching it. It was like monkey brain shit. Shut up, fucking shut up, shut up. I was even starting to blame my dog and stuff, It was old patterns just coming in, but it was no, get back down in your place. You know what you're doing here. But through the night, these things kept happening. Now, from this point onwards, they denied me a phone call. From 6 o'clock that evening, for 13 hours, they denied me a phone call until 7 o'clock the next morning. They stopped giving me food at this point. They stopped giving water through the door. At one point, this is another thing as well. When I went in there, boy, did I shit. I have probably shitted out every toxin in my body for the last 20 years, because I did plop upon plop upon plop in their toilet. Bosh, 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 bomb after bomb. All coming out, and obviously I just went through their toilet roll like a beast. So I'm asking them, please can I have some more bog roll, and I'm just ringing on the buzzer all the time, please can I have some more bog roll, I'm shitting down my legs now, please can I have some more bog roll, being funny, obviously it's not the truth, I'm not shitting down my legs, but just playing it up, and other people in the cells are hearing this, and they're like, woo, and and at one point there's a lady just going, oh, just shut up now, someone please give him some bog roll, please give him some bog roll, please stop mate, I'll shout for you, please give him some bog roll. So eventually I do get some bog roll, I do get a little bit of bog roll, but I'm still giving no food, a little bit of water. So this goes on all night, and I am getting a bit stressed out here, so I just think, oh fuck it, by 11 o'clock I'm just being reminded through my creation and the creation that I just need to go back into myself and shut the fuck up and get quiet and rock on the bed for a bit and wrap the blanket around myself and go quiet and just tune in with everyone else who's out there and what else is going on, and just tune in with myself and go quiet and start to come back to that, and then come back, and eventually I fall to sleep and I have a really nice sleep. By this time, I've been made aware that I'm going to go to court the next morning. And I say to them, well, that piece of paper is going to court, and you're going to drag me along and try and get me to be that piece of paper is actually what's happening. So good luck. Let's see what's going to happen there. So the next morning at 7 o'clock, I again ring the bell and say, hi, can I have a phone call, please? And I get a message come through straight away on the buzzer. Yeah, we're just having a change of shift, so hold on a minute, mate. We'll be right with you. And they did, and this guy came down, and I have to say he was lovely. He was really lovely. Whoever the other guys were, they were playing it, but this guy had just come on. And he came down, and he's like, yeah, I'll get you your phone call. And he did, and he took me straight up there. And I said, look, I haven't been given a wash. I've been here for 36-odd hours now. I can't remember how long, something like that. And I said, I haven't been given a wash, I've been asking for a wash. I'm stinking like I don't know what here. And I want to brush my teeth and, just feel human again. And he sees this, and he says, yeah, okay, yeah, well, the van's going to be here for you in a minute, so quickly go and have a wash and get yourself together. So I go down, I'm having a wash. And one of the ladies who handed me the phone earlier when I was speaking with the captain, she was just looking at me. She couldn't take her eyes off me. And I don't mean in a fancy way or anything like that. It was just like, she was just looking at me, just saying, what are you doing? The head's flopping off. And I just keep looking at her and just smiling, just brushing my teeth and smiling. We don't say a word to each other. It's gorgeous. It doesn't need words at this point. And then I'm then led upstairs, and I have my phone call, and this is beautiful because I phone my friend Sam, who, again, you know, I'm having a little sort of like, oh, they're just about to take me off to court, and I'm having a little moan and a little wobble, and Sam is just fucking there. He is so, I mean, he makes your bitch slaps look like nothing, Kate, sometimes. He puts me on the floor, and every time needed, you know, he has been one of the main instruments in my ego getting right back in the place where it needs to be healthily. And he just put me straight into the D, come on, man, you know who you are, you know what's going on, just keep there, bro, keep there, just stay in the truth and stay on it, you've got this. And then that was it. They were the final words that just made me... Something happened at this point, because I already knew when I got the Mr. Witness thing, you know, I've really got nothing to worry about here. And then they threw the pressure at me, so I had my wobble, I had my little test, but it was a real feather dusting, guys. Compared to what some of you have been through, I really have had this very light. So again, I'm now being led up to the van, and they handcuffed me, and they've searched me, 3 times. You have to go into the Christ position, don't you? It's perfect. You have to put your arms out, and each time I go, Christ, here I am, you know. So I get 3 Christ, you know, and you're out, boom. And so I'm led into the van, and the guy's really nice. He has to handcuff me again. I'm like, I love all this handcuff stuff, and he's leading me into the van, and he pops me in the van, and then one of his mates who's in the back of the van sort of walks past me and he goes, "You're brave." And I said, no, I'm not. I'm just standing in truth, that's all. Just watch, you know, just watch. And by this point, I know who I am. I've gone through my wobbles, and I've got this now. I've got this. And, you're going to love it. So we're driving up to the court, and we end up in Bodmin Crown Court, which is, you know, Bodmin, body mind. It's also got a massive one of those obelisks. There's a great big penis standing right on the top of the hill in Bodmin. Again, the ley lines are running all through it, so I've just been moved a bit further up the line. And we're sitting in the van, right? There's a Welsh word, and this Welsh word is canwalth. Canwalth is candle. So Canwalth is Cornwall as well. It's the corn. You know, I'm driving at the candle. So I'm going up the candle in the back of this van, and I'm looking in the sky. I can see jet trails, and there's 4 perfect jet trails just lining off in different directions. And I'm just seeing everything just beautifully, and there's just anagogics popping up. I'm just looking into the nature and just floating off with this now, and I just know I've got it, you know. I know I've got it. And I'm in the van, and this guy starts shouting, "Hey, has everyone had a good night?" And he's a deep Cornish accent, so some of you guys might not get this, but yeah, I had a proper night, I have, and it's been lovely, and they've got me in the cell, and he was singing away, and I was just, oh, mate, you sound like you're on it, power to you, you know, power to you. I tell you what, when you get out, read losethename.com, and you'll never come back again. You'll never need to go through all this. He's, oh, thank you, my love, that's bloody, you know, we're having a good old crack in the van, and the guys who are driving us along can hear this. So then we get to the actual courtroom, and this is lovely. You go through the big fences again. Through the big fences because you're so dangerous. Yeah, I'm so harmful. And all the time, just, I'm having a crack with these guys. And the guy said, you know, after he said, you're really brave. And he said, are you one of those freemen? I said, no, I'm not one of those freemen. And this is way beyond that. He said, you know what? When we get in there, I'd like to have a cup of tea and sit down and chat with you, which he never did. And I don't know whether he could have, because I got straight into another cell. But he did offer that. And I thought, that's very nice. You know, it's like, great. There's another one here this was really starting to open out, you know, there's people starting to actually listen here to what's going on, and my confidence is growing all the time that this is right. This really is right now, isn't it? Do you need any more convincing, Strawberry? Come on, this is right, off we go. And they go and put me down into cell T1. I don't even need to say, do I? T1. Okay, so I'm locked in T1, and I'm just walking around in T1, and there's a big J on the floor. Again, a J. Someone's inscribed it with whatever they managed to sneak in to inscribe it with, because they take, you know, your shoelaces off you, everything, don't they? They strip you of anything, sort of thing. And I just know I've got it, so I take my shoes off, and I'm just wandering around, feet on the floor, and I start singing, "Fly me to the moon and let me play amongst the stars." And then the guys next door are banging on the walls and singing along. And it's just great. We're just having fun at this point, and I'm just really know I've got them. And the guys who obviously there's 3 sort of I don't know what to call them, the guards, I suppose, the guards who run the downstairs bit where all the prisoners are waiting to go through. And the one guy says, "Have you got a brief?" I said, no, I don't need a lawyer, you know, third-party interlopers, bloody rubbish. And he's like, what do you mean? I said, well, I'll just stand by myself, won't I? I'll just present myself. That's, you know, the whole time you can just go keep this cheeky level with them, and it really does work. It's pushing buttons, but they know you're only coming from your heart. This is the thing. I'm only ever coming from my heart. It's just all, come on, guys, can't you see how ridiculous this is? I'm thinking all the time. It's just like, it's so absurd, and I'm really about to show you how absurd this all is. So the guys come down, a lovely young lad again, and he knocks on the door, he opens the door and says, are you ready to go up now? And I said, well, no, sorry, they're ready for you. He says, no, they're not. I said, I'll come up now. There's no one ready for me. I will now come up. And by the way, I told him again, I went through the same thing. All of this is fraud. I've been held against my will. My only wish from the word go has been to get out. I just want to go home. That's all I want to do, just go home. This is all fraud. So he leads me upstairs, and he's smirking the whole time. He's just holding me by the arm, not pressuring me or anything, but he's smirking, and he's going, mate, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, he didn't actually say, like, they're going to tear you a new arsehole, but it was that sort of feeling through his voice. What are you doing? So I walk up the stairs, and I just smile, and I look at him and go, that smile's going to come off your face in a minute. Watch this. So we walk up to the court door, right? We're right at the top of the steps, and this is where the chun whip, the puff pastry, the hangman, the whole drop drip gets just smatooshed on the whole place. Absolutely, it just gets ripped at this point. I can't believe I'm even doing it, because what happens here is everyone comes through me. You all come through me. All of your voices, everything I've learned over the time I've been listening to the radio show, everything I've learned from Michael and Steve and Kate and every incredible being that has been through this experience. And let me tell you, mine was a feather dusting compared to what you guys got. But what I did at the end here is I owned the court. I owned the court. I walked into the court, and the first words that came out of my mouth were, you are all under my administration. This is my court. Now, I'm going to tell you what's happening. You are holding me here fraudulently. I have been brought here because you want me, the living being, the only living being in this building, to attach to a piece of paper, a ridiculous piece of paper which is sitting on one of your desks. Okay, so I've got a barrister sitting in front of me, in the middle. I've got a lady on my left. I don't know who she is. I'm behind a glass screen, obviously. I've just walked in on the right-hand side to stand, and I just stand because I'm not going to sit or stand or rise or do anything. It's just like, I am owning this court. This is my court. And I've just got this, it's running through me. It's just pure, a force I can't describe, a strength I can't describe, just a truth. It's truth. That's all it is, people. It's truth. And once you've got this, it's game over. It is game over. We all know Babylon is fallen. I get those words so much more now than I ever did before. And I've taken a phone, and the barrister's looking at me wide-eyed. The lady on the left is shuffling papers crazily. And now this is another thing. No one's writing anything, and there's no one recording anything. So obviously this isn't being recorded. I've clocked that straight away. So I keep saying, on the record, I am just going to state that all of this is fraud. And I just keep saying the same things over about the name fraud and telling them I don't have permission to use any legal name whatsoever. Therefore, any use of any legal name is complete fraud. And then I look at the barrister directly in the eyes, and I say to him, you are a bar member, aren't you? And he nods. And I say, well, you have the privilege to use your own name, don't you? You have copyright privilege to use your own name, which I don't have as a living being, and I am not a bar member. And he said yes when I asked him the first question. I said, you have permission to use your own name? And he said yes. And I said, I don't. And he didn't answer. And he said, he started to raise his voice, and he was just about to say, you are in contempt. And before he could finish, I said, no, you are in contempt of my court. And then the judge, this is the first time the judge looks over from the right-hand side, and there's two judges, there's a female and a male, really old, 75 years old, 80 years old, and they look like, you know, they've been through the mill drinking far too much gin, red-cheeked, couldn't be more classic, old British, we'll tell you a bloody thing or two. And he looks over at me and goes, no, you're in contempt of it. And before he can finish, I said, no, you are in contempt of my court. This is my court. I am the jurisdiction here. I do not fall under any of the jurisdictions. I am the jurisdiction, and I'm going to tell you how it goes. You are now going to release me. There is no charge here. There never has been. This whole thing is fraud. Game over. Now, do yourselves a favor, guys. Leave your jobs. All of you. You, and you. Again, I've just got... The only person that can look at me at this point is the barrister. Everyone else hasn't looked at me now for minutes. The judge is just head down. The other judge is head down. And the barrister is looking me directly in the eyes. And then he looks to the right, and he looks to the guy standing to my left, and he says, can you just get him out of here for a minute? Can you just get him out? And I said, yeah, I'll leave for a minute, give you a break. I walk out, and the guy's walking with me, smirk firmly gone off his face. We leave the door, and he's walking down the stairs, and he's looking, and I just said, there you go. That's how it works. And we go back to the cell, and they drop me back into T1 for a minute.
Hey, hang on.
I know I've got it.
Hey, Strawberry, I just got to say that.
Yeah.
Say this. How do you like them fucking apples? Oh, it's got me in stitches over here. Keep going.
The game's over, honey, innit? We know it. The game is over. We've got them now.
I'm done. I am seeing everything with you, and just everything, like the visuals. See, this is one of the joys of my life, if you want to call it my silly spirit trick, is I can see what you say, and I can be where you are and what you were saying, and it is beyond astonishing. And just
do you know why? Do you know why that is? Because you all were with me. You were with me. You were all with me. I tell you, you spoke through me, all of you.
Yeah, guys, hear what he's saying, because this is exactly what we've been talking about. It's what I've been railing on for years now. Like, Babylon is done, toast, put a fork in.
And everyone out there, if you don't believe this, I just did it, okay? Any naysayers, I have just owned a court, and anyone in this world can now do that, okay? It's been done. It's been done. It's over. Do you get that? Can you hear that? It's over. So, okay, I'm down in the cell again now. This is T1. I'm back in the cell, and I know I've got this now. And they give me a little 5-minute recess, and the young guy who's taking me up the stairs a minute ago comes back down, and he says, they'd like to know if you could come back upstairs for a conversation. And I say, no, I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing. He said, look, mate, can you do me a favour? Just be gentle on them. Can you be gentle on them? Okay, so it's just, okay, fun time. So he takes me back up. I walk into the court, and I just state everything I've stated again. This is fraud, guys. Come on, this is ridiculous. Leave your jobs. I'm going to leave. I'm just going now.
Strawberry, I want you to go back to when you were leaving the cell, when the guy came in, and I want you to walk that moment straight back through again. I need people to see what I just saw. Go.
Okay, so I'm back down in the cell, and I know I've got this by now. I think I'm singing again. I can't remember. Fly Me to the Moon's going off twice now. Yeah, it's just like I'm there. I'm on the moon. I'm dancing. The cow's jumping. It's all silver spoon time. Here we go. And the guy comes back down into the room, and he comes back in. Obviously, his tone now is completely changed with me. He is so much more like he is in awe. He is in shock. He has just gone through Desert Storm. He doesn't know what's going on. He's clicking and fusing, and it's all going off for him. So, and he just says, they want to invite you. They're asking if you can come back upstairs and have a conversation with them, so I have the authority. That's it. Can you hear that, guys? I had the authority. They're asking me now to come and have a conversation. So it's down to me whether I, as king, ask, you know? Beautiful. And then as he's walking me back up the stairs, he says, and please, can you be gentle on them? All they want to do is talk to you. Can you just please be gentle with them? And I said, I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. Watch. We walk back into the room, and straight away I just take over the room again. This is my room, this is my court. Again, this is all fraud. My only wish is to be released. There are no charges. There's just nothing. There is nothing here. This is a farce. There isn't even anything to defend or attack or anything. It's just a farce, guys, okay? And the guy's trying to then read the charges out to a... the Mr. Witness doesn't even get mentioned. There isn't even the name Mr. Witness comes into it. There's nothing. They don't even accuse a name or try and ask for a name or anything. They just don't. It doesn't even come into the conversation. Sorry, I'm just losing my flow a bit here of where the final point was. Yeah, then what he's trying to do is charge this piece of paper, fictitiously, and he says, well, you are being released on conditional discharge bail, or I can't remember all of what he's saying. Basically, the piece of paper's being released. I said, no, that's the piece of paper you're releasing. I'm walking out of here when I'm good and ready, not when you tell me, and I've still got a few things to say. No, and then he starts to shout over me again. Well, no, and what you've got to do is appear at Truro, and the whole time I'm just going, fraud, this is all fraud, this is fraud, and he's trying to tell me, and I'm actually listening as well, because I can do two things at once. My feminine's in full order here, it's like... So I'm hearing him, and he's saying I'm supposed to appear at Truro Crown Court. This fictitious thing is Mr. Witness, get that, He's supposed to appear at Truro Crown Court for 4 weeks on a run, on a Monday and a Tuesday and a Wednesday and Thursday sort of afternoons, just a ridiculous frigging thing, completely ridiculous. And the whole time I'm just saying, no, that's it now, it's over. And I just walked out. And it was the end. And my last words were, this is a farce, good day. And I just walked out of the room, and nobody stopped me. I just walked out. Well, of course it didn't stop me. And the guy just followed me down the steps, and the guy who was with me grabbed me by the arm, and he looked at me in the eyes, and he goes, I have never seen that before. I have never seen that before.
Yeah, and get used to it.
I'm the front of an avalanche, mate. Watch out. It's like, we're coming. Just leave your job. Leave your job. Go now. Just get out of here. Just go, you know, and that's it. These three guys downstairs are kangarooing beautifully. So I walk back downstairs and I said, all right, can I have my clothes back now? And he's like, yeah, can you, no, you're not going to sign that, are you? I'm like, of course I'm not going to sign anything. Can you just give me the bag? And he said, well, if you don't sign it, you won't know if anything's just stolen out. I said, I trust you, it's all right. I looked through the bag. I said, yeah, it all looks like it's there. That's brilliant, thanks, I'll have that. Well, how are we going to get you home? And I said, well, I live down near Penzance. This is obviously very inconvenient since I've been kidnapped. And is there any way you can get me home? He said, well, we'll try and get you a train pass. And he goes off, and they're being so good with me now. They're just like in shock and just like, fucking hell, sir. You know, yeah, I'll have a train pass, please. Then he comes back and says, we can't give you one without a name. And I said, well, obviously, do you get this now? And so, was there any other way you can help me? Okay, we've gone past all the legal shit and the policies and all that. You know, heart to heart, can you take me home? Can any of you help me? You know, can you give me some money? Or, because I had a fiver, that was all I had, you know, five verse, you know, the five verse, the sing-song, singity-ping. And the guys are just, no, we can't do it, it's all policy. And I said, okay, I'll go, I'm in the flow now.
Strawberry, don't glaze on this one, hang on. What you just heard from Strawberry was absolute non-vengeance. There was no demands made. There was nothing. Can any of you guys just help me out? You know, you just kidnapped me and all the rest of it. And put that aside. Someone got a fiver. Just need to get a ride home. My God, This is exactly the headspace, people. You need to understand what is going on here to that degree of no vengeance, stand in truth, and the whole Red Sea parts in front of you.
Beautiful.
Am I right? Like,
you are so right. You are so right, Kate.
I watched it the night I ran them off. A few times, just kid gloves with me. But the night on the air, I was the only one seeing what was going on. But that's exactly what it was. It was the parting of the Red Sea, and it took a bit just to keep going through that in my own mind in that experience. And it just became so evident, and I can only imagine what the next few days are going to be like for you in seeing so much more. But guys, get what he just did there. This is the epitome of the Christ consciousness of no vengeance. This is, I don't care if you crucified me. If you got a fiver to get me home, I mean, you're the one that got me into this mess. Maybe a little help to get out. Thanks. That's all.
Yeah.
No vengeance there. Carry on. Keep going. I'm already into the bowl here. You've just got me. I'm just go. I'm enjoying. This is the show, boys and girls. Let's roll it on.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm getting out of. Obviously, I've walked out of the court by now. I've got all my things, and I'm in a little bit of shock that I've just done it as well. I know the thing of I can't believe it, but I did have that moment of like, fucking hell, have I just done that? Shit. Woo! And as I'm walking out, and I'm waving at all the windows as I'm walking out, just like, fuck, hey, shit, I did do that, didn't I? Yeah. So I just think, well, okay, I'm sort of a bit discombobulated right now. I don't quite know what's going on. So I walk around. I go to the Morrison's, which is a supermarket. I've got 83p left on me. That's all I've got. 83.11, beautiful. So I've got 83p left on me because I had to go and buy some tobacco as soon as I got out. The first thing I wanted was a cigarette, just to like, just need to chill here for a minute and feel what's just happened. And obviously the phone's out of order, and it's just like, I'm just, okay, all right, yeah. So I go up the hill. I'm still struggling a little bit with the total trust of it all, even though I've just gone through this incredible experience and owned a court. I get outside and I'm still like, something in me still not trusting to the full level yet. It's still not quite there. So I go up to I walk around the corner, and there's the police station at the top of the hill because they're not near the court. So I go into the police station and I just say to the lady, hi, can I make a phone call, please? She said, yeah, no problem. She said, how's your day been? Sort of thing. She's really nice. I said, oh, sorry, my car was stolen, and I just want to phone a friend and get home. That's all. I didn't tell her about anything that happened. Like, she just couldn't be asked by this point. It's just like, I just want to get home. And they were really lovely, these two girls, really sweet, And we went through a few wrong phone numbers as I was trying to remember them, and then I ended up ringing Sam again, my bro. So I rang up Sam, and I was having a little. And he was really excited because I'm out, and he's like, fucking hell, you've done it, haven't you? It's like, yeah, and he's trying to ask me, so what happened? And obviously I've just got out and whacked. I haven't had a shower. I haven't really slept properly. I'm exhilarated, but I'm wiped out at the same time. I've really I just want to go home, go to bed now, and have a sleep, and just let all this sink in, what's just happened. And he's very excited, and he's asking me questions, and then I'm a bit sort of like, oh God, no, and I'm not trusting again. I'm like, Sam, can you give me a lift? And he's like, I can't because the van's not working properly, and just get your thumb out, get hitching, and And I'm like, yeah, and I'm just not, and he's just like, Dee, come on, look what you've just done. And I'm like, fuck yeah, of course. What the hell, mate? So it's like, whoa. And again, Sam, I can't thank you enough, bro, for just keep nailing home the significance of what I was going through. Because every time I was slightly slipping, bang, it was just like, oh, you beauty, there you go. Thank you, mirror, for reminding me how gorgeous we all are. So I walk out of the building and I just go up to the main road, stick my thumb out. Within 2 minutes, I get this beautiful ride with this guy, and he's just like, oh, how's your day been? He's a really softly spoken lad as well, beautiful. Just straight away, big heart. And he said, how's your day been? I said, well, that's interesting, actually. Do you want to hear about it? He says, yeah, I've got time. I've got a long story. I said, where are you going to? He said, well, I'm off to Falmouth. I sort of live there, which is a bit out of my way, but it's just like, perfect, I'll come along with you then. Let's just go down to Falmouth. I'll hitch that route. I'll go that way. It's a nice scenic route. So I get in the car with him, and he's chatting away, and I says, well, I tell him about the whole Kate, what's happened the whole day, and Kate's site, and how I came to the information, and he's just sitting in utter silence, just, wow, fucking hell, mate, wow. He said, that's really weird, because I've just gone off to buy a caravan, and I'm about to move on to a piece of land right next to where this lady's just offered me this piece of land, and we were just getting into the anagogics immediately with him and saying about talking from the heart, and there was like heart radio on, and he was pointing things out to me, and it was just, oh, this is just getting trippy now. This is just getting trippy, It's just so, when the flow is like that, it's minute to minute, second to second, moment to moment, you are in, and you're just trusting again. You can't put it into words. You know what I'm saying, guys. You can't put this into words. And he then takes me further than obviously he was going home, and he's just like, mate, come on, let me drive you down here, and I'll take you down to this garage, and then you've got a really good chance of a lift from there. And he couldn't be more blissful and beautiful. So I sent him, I gave him the information, said, this is where you need to go when you get home, have a read of all this. I'm Strawberry, just ask for me around Penzance, and you'll probably find me. It's like, come down, I'm quite well known down there, come and see me, come share some time. And just had a lovely time with this guy. Anyway, he drops me off. I then get into a second car, and it's a lovely old boy. He's got a dream catcher on his window, and I can just see, oh, gorgeous, another absolutely, this is flowing now. And he's got a little dog there called Radar, beautiful little Radar. And I had my Radar out all day, and, well,
hang on, system. Strawberry, Radar is a palindrome. It's a perfect mirror. See, my Radar is there's so much power in what you've just shared. Like, carry on. So you're in the car with this lovely gentleman and Radar, and of course the dream
Radar.
Catcher. Oh yeah.
And he's driving along, and he's telling stories about the dog, and we're just talking about the dog, and there's no invitation in to talk about anything else. It's just like, I'm just talking about dogs now. Oh, this is gorgeous. Here we are. We're talking about Radar's life and what Radar's been up to, and how he's been through 3 or 4 homes, and he's finally settled now. And it was just lovely just to have this, oh, this is nice, He's an older fella than me as well, so it's just like, oh, I'll sit with my dad for a bit and having a good old chat. And it just felt really, really lovely. And then halfway down the road, he starts reciting a poem to me. And it's beautiful. He says, I read this poem the other day, and I added my own ending to it. And this is the poem, and then I'll tell you what my ending is. And I can't remember the full extent of the poem. It was only a couple of lines, a very small stanza. And he said something like, all of the love that's in the world, and all of the love that's in the air, and all of the love that's everywhere is always in the water. And that was the poem, or something to that effect. And then he said, and this is what I added to it. Didn't you know that? And he's like, you fucking dude. You absolute dude. Again, this was just before he let me out of the car, and I said, right, mate, go home, losethename.com, game on. I'll see you in the playground. I'll see you soon. And I then get the third cars all the way back. I get this lovely artist couple come and pick me up next. He's a blues player, all musicians. I'm a musician myself, so we're rabbiting on about music and different bands that we know and having a great time. And then I got dropped back into Penzance, into, my sort of town where I'm around. And I walked down through town. I think, right, I'm going to go and see if Dee and them are around. Dee, I wonder if they're down at Dee's house. And if they're not there, I'll go down and see my friend Indian Billy. I'll go down and see Billy, and I'll get myself home, and just go and have a shower now. So I'm walking down the street, and I walk past the police station, and who do I meet outside? Tonkin. Tonkin's sitting outside in his car, and he's talking to the blonde-haired police lady, who I don't know the name of. Now, this, to me, is the gem in the whole thing. I know what I've just done is amazing, but this, to me, is the real gem of the whole thing. And she stops the traffic, because Tonkin's already seen me, and he's pointed, and he's like, there's that guy. So obviously, she's turned around and seen that I'm walking down the street completely free. And she comes across and looks at me and says, no, hold on. And I'm like, I'm waiting. And she stops the traffic and walks across the road, and she walks up to me, holds me on the arm and says, "You're the most incredible man I've ever met." And this was the police lady. And I just went, wow. Yeah, okay. That's okay.
Worked that out.
She said, "Are you genuine? Are you for real?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." She said, "When you said in the room yesterday that you were doing this for my family, are you really doing that?" And this makes me emotional now, because this is the real sweet spot. I said, "Yeah, this is the whole reason that I'm doing this. This is for all of us. I would like us all to be free. That's my wish, isn't it your wish?" And I said to her, "Look, you've got a cross around your neck there, and that shows me nothing more than that there's deep love in your heart. And all I want to say to you is that the only sort of thing that you may have misconstrued here is that what Jesus was saying is that you be me. You don't worship me. You just be me. You are me." And she just looked me in the eyes and just kept looking me in the eyes. And I tell you what, she got my heart beating, because, I like this sort of girl. She's blonde, and it's just my sort of girl, and the big blue eyes. And I was looking into those eyes and just thinking, yeah, okay. And it's just heart to heart at this point. It's just this really beautiful connection. And she's so genuine with me now. And she says, it's so beautiful. She says, "Well, what can I refer to you as anything? What can I call you?" And I said, "Are you my friend or are you my enemy?" And she said, "I'm not your enemy." I said, "But are you my friend?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm your friend." I said, "Okay, well, I'll hold you to that. You just said you're my friend, so you're my friend, okay? So I will give you another reference. You don't have to call me witness, okay? All of my friends call me Strawberry. But that is never for you to be assumed. It's not a nickname. It's not anything I attach to. It's nothing legal. That's just for you. Whenever you see me and you want to come over and say hello, which I would love to do again with you, come and say hello." And she said, "Okay, thank you. That's really nice." And where did it go here? And I said, and she said, I didn't ask for a name, because I haven't asked for anyone's name the whole way through. I'm not interested. And she gave me a name. She said, my name's Ali. And I said, "So you're my ally? Are you going to be my ally? Are you going to be my ally inside here? Can we break this down now?" And the whole time, Tonkin's standing off to the left listening to all this, and there's two other coppers behind her listening to this in the police yard, and she's got a young community officer standing behind her, and I'm just pouring love out, and she's accepting, and she's pouring love back. And Tonkin comes in for a little, "Well, I'm still investigating your dog," in his little way. He just comes across and says, okay, that's fine. And I'm looking at her, and I'm just looking at him, and just watching what she's watching as well. And I said, "Well, yeah, thanks for stealing the car, mate." And I'm saying it cheekily. It's not revengeful. It's just like, thanks for stealing the car. I'm going to go and get it back, but thanks for stealing the car. And he said, "Oh, I'm glad I did that." And he did it, and it was just weird. And I looked at her, and I go, and she looked as well, and I didn't have to say a word. She could just see. It's like, come on, can you see the program? Can you see how silly all this is? Just look her in the eye, and she's just looking at me like, who the fuck are you? Where have you just come from? You've just changed my whole world, and fuse. So I did say to her, I'm going to do something for you, because I don't believe that you got the information. I posted Babylon Has Fallen into the police station about 2 weeks ago, and it seems like obviously whoever got it didn't give it to you. She said, no, we never had any of this. I said, well, what I'll do then, if you do me a favour, we're friends now, I'll come down and I'll give you a load of Babylon Has Fallen, and I'll give you all the information that you need, and I'll even put in some other documents that express it more heartfeltly, because come to the heart of it more. And I'll just give you all this information. You've got it, and then you can go around and spread it yourself within there, and you can give it to the other guys and make sure they get it this time. And do you know Adrian? Because Sam's already given these documents to another policeman down here called Adrian, who's a surfer, and he met him in the surf. It's all beautiful, that story. That's a whole other story that hopefully Sam will share at some point with you. So I said to her, you know Adrian, don't you? She said, yeah, I know Adrian. I said, well, he's already got this information. Go and have a chat with him now, because he's probably spinning around and doesn't know who to talk to, and he's wondering what the hell's going on. So just say, well, you've just witnessed what you've witnessed, and go and have a chat. And then she said, yeah, you're out, aren't you? I said, yeah, I'm standing right here, aren't I, in front of you talking? She's like, yeah. And she said, well, I haven't even asked you what happened. I said, well, I just tore them all an arsehole. I just basically went in and owned the court and walked out of my own accord. And she went, wow, okay. She didn't look like, oh, yeah, amazing or anything. She just went, wow. By this point, she's just, I can't, this lady's going to be resigning as far as I can see. I can't see how she can't now. And I said to her, get your Boxhall, go and have a chat with Boxhall, because you seem like friends. And I said, and something else I'd really like to ask is if I ever do script write, that this is my adventure again in the future, and I need to come here and do this again to have another little go at this, just, you know me now, you know my face, you know who I am, you can see who I am, just be nice. Just be all cool about it. And then, if so, and in fact, if any of your mates get silly, just tell them, look, leave him alone. It's my mate. leave him alone. He's not doing any harm. And she just gets this. And she's busy now. She's like, okay, well, thank you. I've got to go off because the young CPC is standing behind her, getting a bit sort of, what's he talking about? And she's just like, she's had enough. And she just said, okay, thank you, Strawberry. Thank you, Ali. Good day. Have a good, gorgeous day. And to me, that was just the icing on the cake. That was the cherry on the top. That was just the most exquisite rounding off to the whole thing.
Strawberry, during this whole conversation that you've been having with all of us, you see, there was my daughter's birthday tomorrow, and I had a birthday which we shared on the air, and it was for all of humanity except me. You're that present. Thank you.
Yeah. You're that present. We are the present. Oh, this is a beautiful energy, isn't it? Can you feel that? No words are needed right now. Just feel that, people.
Yeah, wishes do come true.
Yeah. Wishes do come true. Absolutely. I got my wish yesterday.